shoes out here and then in your closet.
Good afternoon, everyone. How's it going? Hope everybody's having a good week. It's been kind of rainy, snowy, and gross and gloomy here today. My hair's probably a good indication of that. So today, as I had let you all know last week, we are going to do the gradients, the collection. Oh, I probably should have looked this up first. I don't remember which collection this is. It's like the, something to do with Sweethearts. I'm really embarrassed. I don't know what that is. But these are the super fun colors in that collection. Can you see those okay?
Yes.
Linda? And so I went ahead and did it on my right hand. I don't care which hand that was. So you could just kind of see the colors. And I'm going to show you a trick after I do this hand. Today I'll be just, again, circling back around about how easy Lucid is. That's what the name means. Lucid means easy, how easy this polish is, being a one-step all-in-one. But I also am going to show you today a quick file-off method for removal rather than using the gel remover every single time. When you use the strength gel always, the key is not to remove that strength gel every single time. You want to leave that strength gel so that your nails build that strength and they get that durability like mine are right now. This one right here it was my little struggle bus nail that I have been kind of nursing along that was cracked, and I had to file it all the way down because I had a little bit of lifting at the tip. So it's lumpy. The tip of it's lumpy, and you probably can't see it very well on the camera. Can you see that's kind of lumpy on there?
Not really.
Probably not. Sorry about that, guys. So I'm going to show you how we file the gel off, and I can smooth that out rather than using the remover. So that definitely is an option. All right. So we are just going to jump in. You can see how my nails all have that cloudy, dusty look. It's because I did start to prep them. So again, as I preface every single time, you see all this white dust? You need that white dust. If you're having any problems, I'm going to tell you every single time it's your buffing. You're not getting them buffed down enough and dehydrated. So it has to do with the oils. And I did kind of buff these down already a little, so I don't have to bore you with the buffing or, oops, I didn't need that, or the shaping. So I already shaped them as well. A little tip I can give you guys today about shaping is I tend to wear mine a little bit more, I guess what you'd call squound. They're not like boxy square, but I like them a little bit more square. If you like them really square, you're gonna go flat like that with the file. If you file on the side, you wanna go straight off of the sides. If you start doing this, that's where you're going to start cutting into the sides, and that's where you get either the coffin look or a little bit more of that squound, or if you wanted a squoval or something like that. You come underneath like this, and it'll really bring those sides in so that it's not so square and boxy. So it's all about how you're holding your file. So you see all that dust that I have, you want the white dust. When I always talk about the dust, you want the white dust. Now is time for either your alcohol wipe or, mine fell on the floor, alcohol wipe or your alcohol. Dehydrate, get behind those nails on the free edge. You get oils up behind your nails too, so it can pull away. If you're painting your nails and you notice it starts separating from the tip, or the sides, it's because you have oils on your nail or you didn't wait for the alcohol to completely dry. If you have a tendency to have oily nails, I say go in and dehydrate twice. So let it dry and come back and do it again. So you really want to take all that extra moisture out and cleanse off any oils that might be on there. And you're going to let that completely dry. And you can obviously feel when alcohol is still damp. I mean, you can obviously see it too, but so I'm going to go ahead and open all of the bottles since we're going to do a different color on each. Just a reminder, we are still doing the buy 3 bottles, get 1 free. That's going until the 19th. We also right now have a sale of buy 1 top coat, get a second top coat 50% off. So if you are wanting a matte top coat or an extended wear, if you're a top coat user. So you can see where I really drown those. That has to be dry. Get all that extra out of there. It's really important when you're at this juncture, if there's something wrong, don't rub your finger all over it or pick at it. If you do, you need to go back and you need to dehydrate again because you're transferring oils from your fingers onto your nails, and you can have problems with either chipping or the product not reacting accordingly. Okay, we're gonna whip through that. So we're gonna start with this pink. Another thing, remember, when you're taking it out of the bottle, circular motions. Otherwise you have a huge mess, and then when you put it back in, it goes all over the bottle. So circular motions, and then just swipe it. It is supposed to be thick. If we have any new viewers, our polish is thick because it is the base, the color, and the top all in one. And then you just stroke it along. Get that free edge. This one is Plum Crazy. This one is Bellini. Bellini has a tendency to bleed a little bit more of a sheer pink. The second coat usually does it, but when I did my right hand, I found that I actually put a third coat on because I didn't want it to be as sheer. So, and I have a big chunk of skin right there on my cuticle that I'm not going to mess with right now. I'll get that later. This next one is Purple Haze. This is a really pretty purple. Starting in the middle of the nail, do you see all that extra polish? So if I start down here and I do that, then it ends up all over in my cuticle. So if I have too much, I can get control of it before it's flooding and everywhere. And then I'm just easy pushing into the cuticle. So I think where people end up with it all over in their cuticles is because they're either jabbing or just going straight in. So I'll show you on the next one because I don't want to recreate the wheel with that one. The fourth one is Touch of Purple. Okay, so I'm going to start middle of the nail. I'm going to get that extra off. And then I'm going to push in to the cuticle. And then just come along the side. Push into the cuticle. If you're flooding at the cuticle, you've got too much on your brush and you need to wipe it off, which I was almost on the verge of having too much there. And then just stroke it out, cap the edge. And then the last one is our all favorite, Angel Wings. White can be tricky. Same thing, just lightly pushing in. Too much pressure on your brush can cause flooding in the cuticles. I think that's one of the biggest obstacles that we have is getting it all over.
There's a question.
Okay.
Does the gel reconnecting?
Okay.
And there we go.
Sorry about that. I had a little pause. Yes, absolutely, it works on fake nails. You can do it over your acrylics, over your builder gel. You could do it over poly gel. You literally could do it over anything. One of the questions I had this week was if the artificial nails or the tips would melt in the lamp. No, absolutely not. So, and then you, depending on what type of artificial nails you have, you could use the remover too, and it shouldn't affect anything with the artificials. Otherwise, you could just take the hand file and file that all the way down. So that is a good question. Let's see, what was I saying before that? I was talking about the angel wings. I lost my train of thought. Any other questions that anybody has? Anything that you're running into? Flooding of the cuticles, that's what I was talking about. Again, don't forget, the trick is clean it up before you cure it. So if you have it everywhere, just get a little bit on your brush. Oh, I still had some on there from last week. Get just a tiny little bit on your brush, and then you just go in and you can clean it up, which I didn't do right there, but it also comes right off. Okay? So, start over again. Plum Crazy.
What's a cuticle cleaning brush and would you recommend?
Which cuticle? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
What is a cuticle cleaning brush and would you recommend?
Okay, a cuticle cleaning brush. Yes, I would recommend it. And what it is, well, let me just show you. So I'm getting crazy over here, okay? So you get it all over the side. Normally, you could just go in here and clean it up, but then now you got polish over here and it just makes a huge mess. So what you do is with our pumper, or you can just use a little cup of alcohol, and then we have our cuticle cleaning brush that we sell on our website. And it's just, it's used for several different things, but we use it for the cuticles. Put just a little tiny bit of alcohol on it. You don't want a ton, because you don't want to make a huge mess. And then you just come in and clean that up right in the cuticle and get rid of that extra before you cure it. The other great tool for that too is, because you can see now I have it in here and I actually kind of need to dig that out, and I just got that out with our cuticle pusher. So these tools do make a difference, and the reason I made really quality tools is because I want you to only have to buy them once. I mean, we use these in my salons, and this is one of my favorite tools for pushing your cuticles back, and I did that already too, you guys. I kind of jump in at the polish, I think, for those of you that watch normally know. And then you have this to either clean out underneath or around the cuticles if you have puddling. So I absolutely would recommend one of those. I mean, is it like a ride or die? Like if you had to choose between a cuticle pusher and a cleanup brush, I would say choose a cuticle pusher just because you have a lot more uses for it. But otherwise, I would for sure get both. And you can also use this the cleanup brush. You can use it for nail art too. So maybe you wanted like to do some negative space, and you painted like a purple, and you put a little alcohol on there, and you could come in and wipe all of that off. Or if you're really good and want to do a French with polish and not dip, you could use that. Come in and clean up where that, it's called smile line, would be.
And then can I use a sparkly dip powder over gel polish on an accent nail?
Yes. The trick would be, though, you need it to be sticky to put the dip on. So if you're going to do a sparkly polish, here's what you want to do. Is you're going to put this on here, just like this. Do not cure it. Take your dip and pour it over, then cure it. Because normally the way we do our dip, right, is to use our strength gel underneath, because you have to have that sticky layer, and strength gel gives you that strength, but you're already there. If you don't need a base color underneath, you could just use strength gel. Otherwise, just pour it right over before you cure it, and then just buff in between. And the reason you buff in between is just so that you don't have those bumps that sometimes the dip can cause, especially if it is glittery, if it's chunky.
If you use the top coat, do you have to file before applying gel remover?
Absolutely, yes. That is a big deal. Some people are like, the gel remover's not working. And I find out they have a top coat. It can't penetrate that top coat. So you do have to etch that top coat and get, I touched one of my nails. I don't know which one it was. And get that top layer broken. But if you don't have a top coat on, you don't have to etch it. Depending on how thick you put it on, you might have to do it a couple of times. That's so sheer, but... And you see how I'm going back? It's not cured, so I can go back as many times as I want on that. Cure for 60 seconds, and voila, we are absolutely done. So it's gotten to the point, honestly, that I have access to all of our professional products in my salons. I use this now doing my own nails just because it is so fast and it's so ridiculously easy. I use the strength gel. I don't top coat just because it's built in and the shine lasts for me and it's durable. Some people really like that top coat because they feel like it gives more shine and makes it wear longer. So it's a personal preference there. The time that I usually do top coat though is if I'm wanting that matte look, then I absolutely will do a matte top coat. So, and then if I wanted to do a foil over these, I would just apply my foil gel, stick my foil on, then you do have to top coat. So remember, if you're doing anything other than our one step, you do have to top coat. So you could do all kinds of fun things with that though. So now I'm going to show you guys, because that is so ridiculously fast and easy. Done. Beautiful. Pull this in half. Voila. Always, as always, always, always. Cuticle oil, cuticle oil, cuticle oil. If you do get any polish on your skin, it'll come off with a couple good hand washes. Or sometimes, depending on where or what it is, you can kind of get in there with this little guy. I don't know if that's polish or a little bit of dead skin, but... So you can see how shiny that is with no top coat. So it's unreal. All right, I'm actually gonna open this back up just because I'm going to create some dust. So I'm going to show you how to do a removal with the file. So there's two sides to our file. You've got the softer side and you've got the grittier side. If you do not have anything on your nails, you want to work with that softer side. The goal is to keep the nail healthy. This, if you do it too hard or aggressively, you're going to really, what we call etch that nail, and you're going to scratch that nail surface, and that is not what we want. I'm going to use this side though because I already have polish on and I have strength gel underneath this. So I'm going to go in here and file my polish off. I don't have a top coat. I've got 2 layers of the one step. Notice how, so this is my non-dominant hand that I'm working with, the left hand. I'm not moving this because my left hand, I'm like, you don't know which, like, it's just awkward trying to like write with a pencil. So I'm just using I'm moving my hand rather than the file. So that makes it a ton easier. So in this case, I want to get this smoothed out, so I get rid of this hump that I had going on. And I left that there when I noticed it because I wanted to show you guys this today with how easy it is to file it off. There's something weird going on at the tip there. I don't know what it is. We'll see here in a second. So move your hand around instead of the file, and it's just a lot less awkward. And if you're doing a darker color, you don't have to get it all off. Same or darker color, you don't have to remove 100% of it. See how I did? You can still see a little purple in there, but that's okay. My goal is to get rid of that hump. If I was going with a sheer color or a lighter color, then I would worry about it. So what's most important is if you're looking from the side, if you're OCD, I mean, go ahead and take your time filing off. Me, I'm like, never know what's under there. My little secret. But I want you to look, if you can kind of see from the side, it's smooth down here. Oh, we had a poor connection.
And there we go.
All right. So it's completely smooth. Now I'm touching it with my finger, right? So I need to go back, alcohol, and get those oils off, especially because I had cuticle oil on that. Okay, so I am good as new. I filed a little bit, get rid of that dust, otherwise it's going to end up in your brush and in your polish. And then it makes everybody grumpy. That middle one was Purple Haze. Sorry, I'm kind of knocking everything over here. Hang with me. And I rest my hand because I just think it gives you more stability and light strokes. This is my left-handed talent here. Still pushing into the cuticle, starting in the middle of the nail. Man, I wish you could have seen how it was like everywhere. Or how it was not everywhere. I just got that everywhere. How it was, there's a really big hump in it. And so for those of you that have used the strength gel, and you haven't waited long enough for it to self-level, or you got kind of crazy with it and cured it, and you have like this big, like one side's either thicker than the other, or you have a big bump at the end. Just what you'll need to do is, if you realize that, cleanse it off, get rid of that tacky layer because it's sticky. Cleanse it off, take your file and smooth it off. Cleanse again, get rid of all that dust, and then either apply another layer of the strength gel or go straight to your polish. Usually if there's like a hump or something, you just balance it out, cleanse it, and go straight to your polish. You don't have to worry about putting another coat of the strength gel. Again, I get questions all the time is if you have to put strength gel on every single time. It depends. If you remove with a file like that, or when you use the gel remover, you can tell when it gets down. If you're watching and you wait like 5 or 10 minutes and you start scraping it, you can see the strength gel layer. And I stop there. So I'll start scraping it off, and then I buff the rest of my polish off. So I only have to put strength gel on every other time. So it makes your manicures go really fast. Starting in the middle of the nail and pulling out to the tip, wiping off the extra. And a really good sign of dehydrating properly is you guys can see how dry the tip of my fingers or my cuticles around. See how dry all that is? That's good. That tells me that we cleansed that properly. And there's a hair in it. So I'm going to go ahead and just get that hair out of there. And again, the beauties of gel. If that was regular polish, we would have had to get the remover out, reapply. All right. And one final cure and cuticle oil. Today's live is super fast, you guys. It's only 25 minutes, and I could have actually I easily could have had both hands completely done without talking and going through all of the motions, but fastest at-home manicure there is. We are always here for support. We are always here for questions, absolutely anything. For those of you that have turned into Lucid lovers, again, we are launching a pro line come May, and it is all the polishes that will be accessible to licensed cosmetologists and nail techs and salons. So that is something that's super exciting to look forward to. And again, the new colors. I'm super excited about those new colors. All right, and the last thing, of course, our oil. So get rid of all that dry stuff because we dehydrated so much with the alcohol. And I, again, am a terrible representation of our collection because I don't know the name of it. But look for the one that has Plum Crazy, Purple Haze, Bellini, Touch of Purple, Angel Wings, if you like those colors. They all go together, or you can do them separately, depending on what you want to do.
Sean Troop said, I just received my package. I can't wait to try it.
Yay! Let us know what you think. Also, let us know if you have any questions whatsoever or run into any problems. Just message us. We have a live chat on our website, or shoot us an email. And we love to hear feedback. And especially, we also love to hear struggles because it gives us more opportunity to help everybody with any troubles that we can make better in the directions. And anybody that has had any struggles, we've been able to get them on the right track, and then they're in there placing additional orders. So I appreciate each and every one of you coming onto my lives, using our product, sharing your pictures, and we will see you all next week. Next week is a surprise because I don't know what we're doing yet.
You're using the Shades of Love collection.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. Awesome. Shades of Love. That's what it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Who was that?
I'm not really sure how to say her name. All according to...
Oh, according to Amy. That's Amy. That's my friend Amy. Thank you, Amy. All right. So we'll see you all next week. Thanks again, and cheers.